Well, now I'm pleased to introduce the presenters of the 2019 University Commencement Address, Messrs. Devin and Jason McCourty. Now, they'll be addressing you in just a moment, but first I'd like to present each with an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters. Please direct your attention to the video boards for a brief introduction to Devin and Jason and the work that they have been doing.
Jason and Devin McCourty, Doctors of Humane Letters. Devin and Jason McCourty's achievements at Rutgers University and in the NFL are truly remarkable. These distinctions are only matched by their public advocacy.
We fully experienced the sickle cell disease with our father having a trait. Once he passed away, our only connection really to that side of our family was our aunt. It took years for us to even understand some of the pain she was going through. Learning the magnitude of what that disease really did to her and the crisis, the pain she was in. We were searching at that time, what kind of campaign can we get behind, and was able to partner with Embrace Kids Foundation.
Their civic work did not stop with the fight against sickle cell disease.
You realize, man, all I do is play a game, but so many people love this game that it affords me an opportunity to sit in front of all these people and talk about what we can do as a community. Someone else is always gonna come along and win more championships, more MVP. That's always gonna come. The legacy you leave, off the field, that's true legacy that I think can carry on and help people forever.
And the legacies of those before them have not just paved the way, but have shown the way for Devin and Jason.
Coming to Rutgers and really getting an understanding of who Paul Robeson was, and to know that somebody before you that looked like you was able to have such an incredible impact that 100 years later, they're still talking about him. You're blown away by what he was able to accomplish. I think once you start to get into the different social injustice work, people who idolized you and thought you were so great, and they're like, I don't want my politics in football. I just, want to see him run fast. I think it just goes to show kind of who you are as a person. You're more than just an athlete. People often say, you guys are both twins. How are you both here? How does that even happen? And I'm like, man, if you met this 5'6" woman who could put the fear of God in you in one heartbeat and be the most loving person the next second, you would understand and probably wonder how we haven't done more at this time. She was everything. Mom, dad, best friend, all of it, of just always being there. I guess we've been blessed with some strong women in our lives, moms, wives, have just been able to put us on the correct lane at all times. My wife has been a critical influence to me. First person he met that fully challenges him on every level.
Jason and Devin McCourty, Doctors of Humane Letters.
Devin McCourty, will you please join me at the podium? Devin. No, Jason. No, Devin. We got the right one. Okay. We have had a wonderful time with both Devin and Jason here at Rutgers, and we're honored to have them with us. We enjoyed their company last night. Remarkable individuals. But now I have something very official to do. Devin McCourty, now therefore by virtue of the authority vested in me by the governors and trustees of Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, I am pleased to confer upon you, honoris causa, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, with all the rights, responsibilities, privileges, and immunities pertaining to it, and in token of which I present you with this diploma and ask that you be vested in the hood emblematic of your degree. Okay, and you're going to stand to this side and we'll get, okay. Mr. Jason McCourty. Jason McCourty, now therefore by virtue of the authority vested in me by the boards of governors and trustees of Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, I am pleased to confer upon you, honoris causa, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters with all the rights, responsibilities, privileges, and immunities pertaining to it, and in token of which I present you with this diploma and direct that you be vested in the hood emblematic of your degree. Okay, guys, there it is. Okay.
They made sure to tell us to wait a little while before we separate the microphone so we don't kill your ears. So. Man, as I look out into this stadium, it all started here, but it was so long ago. It was about a decade ago. It makes me feel a little bit old, but I mean, Rutgers doesn't even look the same as you drive around. For one, I don't feel old, so only speak for yourself. I still look good. Pretenders, neither one of us have any hair now, so I don't know how much that's true. But man, Livingston campus looks completely different. There's a movie theater there. I mean, so much has changed. You think anything's still the same?
I wish I had a movie theater when I was here. I would have had so many dates in there.
Coach Shiano wouldn't have let you go to the movies.
Come on, man.
But anyway, I hope midnight breakfast is still going on. I hope you guys still have, there we go, midnight breakfast. Okay, I don't feel that old. Do you guys still have Rutgers Fest? Is that still going on?
The grease trucks? It's a lot of healthy people here now.
Do people still say, "Are you screw"? Okay, now we're talking your language. Well, let's get stuff going. We have a 5K walk/run that we do that benefits sickle cell disease that we're going to right after this. So.
They don't care. They have big plans after this. Parties, celebrations. I saw one guy, he had his beer already ready. He's here to have fun today. Let's go.
First and foremost, I just want to thank God for the opportunity of us standing up here in front of you. He's done so much in our lives, blessing us. I want to thank President Barchi. I also want to thank the board members and all the alumni that are here in attendance with us today. Also want to thank Mrs. Robeson, Governor, two people that are extraordinary examples that have gone before us. I also want to say it's an honor to be here on the 100th anniversary of Paul Robeson, somebody that probably wasn't celebrated the way he should have been while he was living because of the times he was living in. And yeah. And it's just such an honor to be standing up here because without the work that he did and everything that he stood for, we would have never gotten the opportunity to be up here doing a commencement speech. But most importantly today, congratulations, Rutgers, class of 2019. You did it.
Mama, we made it.
You're right, Dev. Mom, we did make it. Growing up, our mom was probably the chief person that got us to sit in the seats that you're sitting in right now. And it was right here at this university we met our wives, Melissa and Michelle, and they've continued to push us. Oh, they got mom on the screen. Okay, and you see our beautiful wives sitting next to them. Those three women are a big reason.
So wait, you're basically saying if you meet a woman at Rutgers, marry her right away? Rutgers women rock? We might see some proposals right now.
He put a lot of pressure on you fellas. You might want to put your arm around a female if she's sitting to the left or right of you. But back in 2005, it started right here in this stadium. We were young freshmen. We were just getting started on our journey. And for most of you back in 2005, you probably hadn't even had your first pimple yet. But we won't go into too much detail with that.
But both our paths to get here took totally different turns. I mean, of course, we're twins, so we were born on the same day, 27 minutes apart. I am the older one. We did everything together. We even fell down the same 2 steps a week apart and lost our 2 front teeth. We dressed alike. We played every sport together. We hung out all the time. We usually achieved the same awards on the same day.
Yeah, we also got in trouble together as well. And for the first time, we're giving our first commencement speech together. So he's tied to me.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little different. See, Rutgers didn't want me at first, but they wanted Jay. So I did what any smart sibling would do. I rode his coattails all the way onto the banks of the old Raritan.
That lets you know I'm the better twin, but go ahead.
In the beginning of my Rutgers journey, though, I had to learn fast that I would have to continue to redefine success. I would have to understand that things wouldn't just come to me. You always hear it's not about where you start, but where you finish. And our story follows that same cliche. It's no secret, we're football players. So coming out of New Jersey, that meant every high school senior was competing for scholarships. And often we would compare who had the most scholarships. But for Jay and myself, that process moved pretty slowly.
Yeah, we didn't have many offers back then, man.
Then Rutgers came in and they decided they will offer Jason a full scholarship. I should have been excited, right? My brother gets a full scholarship, but that offer didn't come with a 2-for-1 special, no buy one, get one free coupon. So I sat there wondering, why didn't Rutgers want me? Was I not as good as I thought? Aren't we the same? I mean, Rutgers, we're twins. But luckily for me, Rutgers invited me to accompany Jason on his official visit to the school. And trust me, I appreciated the visit, free trip, get away from the weekend. But deep inside, I was like, man, F Rutgers. You laugh now, but we've all been there before, so please just bear with me, bear with me. And I know, we fast forward that weekend, on the last day of the visit, Coach Shiano brings me in his office and he says, Devin, we would like to offer you a full scholarship as well. Yeah, see, you cheer. You probably thought I had that scream of the guy who's won his first ever Super Bowl. Oh yeah, like him. But I didn't. I said, thanks, coach. But deep inside, I still had that feeling like, man, F Rutgers.
I can't take this guy anywhere. You're embarrassing me.
I was 17. Maybe like some of you, I had an amazing mom. And my mom said, stop whining. Sometimes you gotta help each other out. But once you get there, show everybody what you're made of. So of course the next day, I committed to Rutgers. And Jay told Coach Shiano and the staff, hey, I wanna visit Boston College next week and then I'll let you know. So the coaches popped no champagne, no celebration. They got the bad twin out of the deal.
Yeah, that's very true.
But luckily after Jason's visit to BC, he decided that Rutgers was a university for him. So in 2005, twins from Nyack Plaza Apartments decided they would go to Rutgers and chase their dream of being professional football players. But making the NFL would be tough, see? We came in 5'11", 155 pounds, soaking wet. And at the time, everyone told us, focus on your education. Make a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. Don't think making it to the NFL is the only way to success. So we quickly learned that people who love you won't always tell you, chase your dreams, do it. I know it's hard, but go get it. Sometimes they'd be scared for you. And a great philosopher from Brooklyn, New York said, my uncle told me I'd never sell a million records, and I sold a million records like 1,000,000 times. Don't worry if you don't listen to Jay-Z. He explained all of this in the interview. He says sometimes the people who love you the most don't want to see you fail because they're scared. They cast their fears on you. They don't want to see you do some of those things because they think you might just fall short. And they know they can't do those things, so they put that on you. But if we accept those fears from others, how can we unlock our true purpose here on this earth? I say to you, class of 2019, failure is a feeling long before it becomes an actual result. The power of positive thinking can change your life. I know chasing goals can be scary. You might be doing things for the first time in your family's history. You may be following in the footsteps of someone great. But do you think we'd be standing here celebrating the 100th year of Paul Robeson's graduation if he let fear and doubt step in the way of being great? Would the Patriots have won 6 Super Bowls if Bill would have listened to other people and put Brady back on the bench?
Don't you mean win 6 Super Bowls because Bill Belichick traded for Jason McCourty?
You only had 1 Super Bowl. Stay in your lane. Oh. But let all your moments of self-doubt, fear, or disappointment fuel your drive to be great.
Because it will be in those moments of fear that we have to realize we must redefine success and what it means to us. I can remember being drafted into the NFL and thinking to myself, I've arrived, I've made it. Everything I set out to accomplish is now being given to me. But once being drafted and arriving in Tennessee, I quickly realized the definition of success transformed into just making the team. After making the team, I wanted to become a starter. Once becoming a starter and playing year in and year out, I had a burning desire and hunger to try to win. For this guy over here, my lookalike, winning came rather easy. Drafted in the first round, goes to the New England Patriots, wins 3 Super Bowls.
Thank you.
Like I said, can't take this guy anywhere. It was in those moments I learned a very valuable lesson that has continued to stick with me throughout my life. When you compare, it is a thief of your own joy. It's one thing you can't do. As identical twins growing up, everyone is always going to compare you. In the same profession with so many similarities, everyone wants to know who's faster, who's stronger, who's smarter, and you can insert any adjective you can think of. There were times I had the same thoughts. I'm better than Dev. Why can't I do some of the same things him and his team are doing? But there's a verse in Galatians chapter 6, verses 4 and 5, and it reads, each one of you must examine your own actions. Then you can be proud of your own accomplishments without comparing yourself to others. Assume your own responsibilities. As I look out to the crowd of the graduation class of 2019, there's a story behind each and every one of you, one no more important than the next. Each of you have gone through obstacles and circumstances to get here, but you all got here. No matter how many late nights, cram sessions, whatever it took, you all got here. Never let the journey of the next person define your successes or your failures. Redefine success every step of the way. Keep your head down and just go to work. Or like we used to say when we were here, keep chopping.
We were chosen to speak to you today because some crazy people decided they would mention our name in the same sentence as Paul Robeson. He was an accomplished athlete, singer, actor, but he felt he had a bigger purpose. After the lynching of 4 African Americans in 1946, he met with President Truman and asked him to put an end to lynchings. As you could imagine, that didn't go over well in the time. And so he decided he would start the American Crusade against lynchings. But why would he do this? Won't this mess up his career? Won't he lose money? People will look at him differently. By the standards of everyone else, he had already reached the ultimate side of success. But role models like this encourage us to branch out from the football field. We use our platform that was provided to us from the NFL in 2013 to highlight our aunt's battle with the sickle cell disease. So we decided to start a campaign called Tackle Sickle Cell. That campaign today has raised over $1 million for research and assisting families. Thank you. Our Aunt Winnie was one of the toughest people we knew. She passed away in January earlier this year. Grieving is always tough, but hearing how her life impacted those around her and how the campaign affected others, it really lifted my spirits. Even though she's not with us here physically anymore, we always feel her presence. So continuing the path of helping others, we decided to become active members of the Players Coalition. The Players Coalition fights injustices all throughout America. We thought playing in the Super Bowl was nerve-wracking, so we went to the Massachusetts State House and decided we would testify to advocate for an educational bill. That was tough, trust me.
I'm sweating just thinking about it. Dev roped me into it.
But people often speak about legacy. And when they mention our legacy, I sure hope they don't only mention football. I hope they talk about speaking for those who didn't have a voice. I hope they talk about raising awareness for sickle cell.
Leading youth football camps as well.
And being a part of the criminal justice reform in America. See, when chasing success, you never know where it'll take you. Some of you are graduating with a crystal clear plan ahead of you. Some of you don't really know what you're going to do with this piece of paper. The others are waiting for us to pay for your parking ticket so they'll mail you your diploma later.
Hey, Dev can afford it.
Whatever category you fall into, leave today confident and fearless. Ahead of you is a future you haven't seen yet. You don't know exactly what will inspire your soul, or maybe being here today is a part of that inspiration. Keep your eyes open and follow your heart. But if there's one thing I want you to take away from our philanthropic work and Paul Robeson's life, it'd be summed up by a group of first graders from Tracy Elementary School in Lynn, Massachusetts. Their principal asked the first graders, "What are you going to do today?" And in unison, they said, "Help somebody today because I can." You can hang around some of the smartest people in the world, but sometimes the most profound thoughts come from our purest in the world, our kids.
As kids, we set goals and we try to chase them the best we can. We try to achieve every last one of them. But what about when we fall short and we don't get a chance to conquer those goals? What about when things get in the way? Obstacles like roadblocks, speed bumps, or any other thing prevent us from achieving those goals. What are we to do then? When things that we're not prepared for knock us down, those things that we can't predict because we never see them coming, or we just assume they can never happen to us. I'm talking about the stuff that can alter every plan you've ever made, getting in a car accident and it changing the trajectory of your entire life, running down on kickoff to make a tackle that you've made 1,000 times, but this time you don't get up. These scenarios are real, and they happen, and they force us to look deep within to challenge all you thought was so important and force you to determine who you really are and what you're made of. See, the beauty in life, no one can dictate your attitude, only you. Every day you wake up and you choose, positive or negative. That woman who was in that car accident almost 30 years ago, when she went into work, never knew that that day would be the last time she walked into that building. That car accident would lead to about 12 knee surgeries, including 2 knee replacements. And that same year, she would lose the father of her 3-year-old twin boys. She would never work again. But with a lot of sacrifice and determination, she raised her boys to be men without any father figure in the household. Yeah. Men that she can be proud of. Men that would represent their country, do things in her community to help people next to them. Men that would improve the lives of others around them. As a mother, she overcame every obstacle placed in front of her, and she believed in her faith in herself. My 2 brothers and me never had to look outside the household to find a hero. We got to witness one up close every single day. Love you, Mom. About 10 years ago, that Saturday afternoon at MetLife Stadium versus Army, a young man ran down on kickoff, something he had done over and over and over again, to make a tackle that he had practiced 1,000 times since picking up a helmet. But he didn't realize that day, that tackle would force him to leave in the ambulance. See, Eric LeGrand was told he'd be paralyzed and he'd never have any sensation or movement again from his neck down. But he hasn't let that change his attitude. He coined the word, believe. And as he continues to work his butt off to finish that play and one day walk off the field, he realizes that's what it's about, inspiring others. When he was asked, does he ever wonder why this happened to him? He said, I don't ask why this happened. The answer will come when I'm walking again and I've helped a lot of other people along the way. Anyone that has been touched by Eric, directly or indirectly, they know he's the most positive person they ever met and very charismatic. Adversity is guaranteed to strike at some point in our lives. How we deal with that adversity will dictate who we become. To quote the overnight celebrity, Cardi B, knock me down 9 times, but I get up 10. Look myself in the mirror, I say, we gonna win. Time will only tell what you will overcome on your way to victory. Since the season ended, well, speaking of victory, Super Bowl champs, I've had a lot of people come up to me like, man, I can't believe it. 0-16 in Cleveland the year before to getting a chance to play with your brother and win a Super Bowl.
I told you not to go to Cleveland.
Yeah, you did. But often I look at that and I say, the Super Bowl wasn't the best part of last season. It was all the memories and the moments along the way. It was about the journey. The journey is where we learn about the people around us, but also where we learn about ourselves. There have been moments where hurt and fear have almost strangled us. I can remember being 3 years old, standing in a funeral home, looking at my father laying breathless. Or the moments we thought could never be topped, like winning 3 Super Bowls. Or the moment where I was able to put on my first ring, well, wedding ring that is.
I did that too, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, but the best part has probably been being able to bring children into this world. You see, life can take us many directions, up and down, side to side and back again. But if you center your life in the things that can't be taken away, if you center your foundation in integrity, honor, love, and faith, it doesn't really matter what comes your way. These things will carry you through heartache, joy, success, and disaster. So I say to you, class of 2019, don't just be successful. Redefine success and do it again. Thank you.